Dr. Rupa Huq.
Sounds fun, great in theory, but in practice not a lot, and leaves out London, bringing accusations of gerrymandering. Announced by the last PM on a hunt for votes for her doomed withdrawal bill when there was another deadline looming, it was seen as a Brexit bribe to bring prosperity after we leave the EU. By the end of the year, there was an election called, and it was clear that 60 out of 61 of the lucky winners were in Tory target seats. A lot of them translated into gains: Newcastle-under-Lyme, Bishop Auckland. The PAC noted how criteria for inclusion and adjudicating success were vague, while Professor Hanratty, giving evidence, went further, labelling it pork barrelling, based on party politics, not need. And now the remainder of it is a competitive bidding process, leaving towns, which aren't a commonly understood unit of analysis, pitted against each other at a time when the country needs bringing together. Why not suburbs? Marginal Cheadle got, whereas nearby Didsbury didn't. And London suburbs too are blighted by all those guidance that were initially published: ageing population, reducing economic prosperity, high streets with reducing footfall. Ealing has got a housing crisis, 10,000 on the waiting list, and a social care crisis, yet our budget has been slashed by 64% since 2010, 36p in every pound it had, leaving huge holes, even with the COVID extra. Every time there's another government U-turn, more expenditure in this failed tiering experiment. Yes, our capital generates enormous wealth, but you're never too far away from pockets of poverty. Madam Deputy Speaker, in this very borough alone, in Westminster, Church Street Ward is on some indexes the most deprived in the country. It's certainly the most overcrowded. And I can tell you that in East Acton, South Acton, the streets definitely are not paved with gold. Yet London is completely ineligible. Food bank use has doubled in the last 5 years. It's got 40% child poverty, pensioner poverty. The fastest growing unemployment in the country is found in London. Small beer and a drop in the ocean compared to the revenue that we've lost from council coffers since 2010 and the EU structural funds that we'll no longer get won't cut it. And also, pitting the rest of the country against London is a dangerous policy, this sort of demonising our capital. The only transparent thing about the Towns Fund is its naked politicking. It said it would take away from Whitehall, but instead it's delivered that to CCHQ. The decision-making is taking place there now, not Whitehall. Perhaps the Secretary of State, when he's not scrapping with his pals to get money for his own patch, should stop his imagined war on the woke, because there is work to be done.